All right, welcome back to the Naval News segment. Today, our news comes from us from navalnews.com. This piece written by Mr. Xavier Vassever. Full credit to him. He's talking about the Indian Navy. The Indian have received their first of many P-8I Neptune MPA Maritime Patrol Aircraft commence operations from Indian Naval Station Hansa. And there's a beautiful picture here of it flying with some Indian MiG-29s in escort. And this is the P-8 Poseidon that they are now operating there. It's a very capable airplane that will serve India well. India is a huge partner with the United States in the Asian theater, so I'm very happy to see them get very capable aircraft like this, both from the United Kingdom and from the United States. They're a very important partner in our activities over there. So from the piece, Mr. Vassever writes, the aircraft were inducted after a fitment of indigenous equipment and aircraft acceptance trials. The arrival of the aircraft are welcome by a formation of MiG-29Ks. Indian Navy acquired the first batch of 8 total aircraft in 2013 that are stationed in INS Rajali. Okay, I screwed up that name, but there they go. The second batch of 4 additional aircraft are going to be based in Squadron 316 and will be commissioned in Indian Naval Station Hansa. Boeing delivered the 11th P-8I to the Indian Navy in October 2021, so just a few months ago. So look at that. Over 11 of these total. I guess we're going to get 12, not 8. Okay, INS Hansa is a naval station where the French Navy Mirage M fighter will be conducting ski jump tests starting next week. You can see the ski jump test pictured above. Oh, there it is. Hey, yeah, that's the 12-degree ski jump that they're going to use. Obviously this one's land-based. This is where the pilots will, qualify for carrier operations, right? And then they'll go and actually practice it on the carrier itself. Very cool. And here's a great picture, top view of this new maritime patrol aircraft. Very capable plane, can hold a lot of ordnance, has a huge amount of endurance, and that's really what's important here. For maritime patrol, you need to have the asset on station for many hours at a time, and that's really what the P-8 brings you, is range, speed, and endurance, and carries a lot of weapons if it needs to. So this is a very capable plane. Let's read back from the piece. The P-8A is a long-range multi-mission maritime patrol aircraft capable of a broad area of maritime littoral operations. The military derivative of the Boeing commercial next-generation 737 airplane, the P-8A combines superior performance and reliability with an advanced mission system that ensures maximum interoperability in the battle space. Interoperability meaning that it can communicate with, Army, Marines, Air Force, work with other nations, interoperability. That's very important because we're going to be working together with the Australians, the Japanese, all the Asian countries, basically, except China, be working together. So interoperability is very important. The P-8I is a customized export variant of the P-8A. So they do have some differences here. Featuring specific equipments from the our Indian Navy, 2 major components not fitted on the P-8A are the Ocean Eye aft radar and the magnetic anomaly detector. India has received 8 of the P-8I variant state, with 4 or more production to be delivered by April 2020. And intends to procure 6 more aircraft. That's how they ended up getting the 11th one just last month. So what, 8 plus 6 is 14 maybe? I guess we're going to get about 14 of these. The aircraft have been modified to include a bomb bay and pylons for weapons. 2 weapon stations on each wing, carrying 129 sonar buoys. That's a ton of sonar buoys. Holy smokes. Yeah, very cool stuff. So here's the UK. What's the UK's involvement in this? The United Kingdom is one of 6 international customers of the P-8A Poseidon. Okay, I thought the British were supplying this. The first British Poseidon was delivered in 2019. So a lot of countries are operating this airplane because it is just the next generation of American maritime patrol aircraft. And it is very good. It carries more of everything it needs and has longer endurance. And now it's operating out of India as well. And India has just received its 11th one. And if my math is correct, it looks like they're going to get 14 total. So we'll see. Yeah, very, very cool aircraft. And congratulations to the Indians here. All right, does Chad have anything to add to this? Has anyone seen this airplane? because I have, and it's really nice. Like the inside of it, it's got a beautiful command center. Like the bomb bay and all that can hold all sorts of ordnance. Yeah, it's really cool. Yep. And it will replace the P3s. That's the idea here. Norway's getting this too. I think Norway's already begun getting this one. All right, let's move on to the fleet tracker here. Once a week, we like to talk about everyone who's at sea. A lot of the ships that you see here were at sea over the holidays, so we want to recognize their service and where they're at. So let's begin with fleet tracker. Right now, the United States battle force is 296 ships. Of those, we have 43 ships, or 45 total ships underway. So, less than, a relatively low number. Usually this is around 90. So let's just see who's at sea. So in port, I guess, in Yokosuka, Japan, we have machinery repairman second class Adam Lockman from New York, performs metal work in the weld shop. And there he is putting a drill bit on what looks to be like a drill press. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Okay. In, is it Sasebo, Japan? I'm not familiar with that place. The American LHA-6 is, looks like he's coming into port here. Very cool picture. Rising sun over the ridgeline there. Beautiful, beautiful ship. In the Western Pacific, here we have a sailor who looks exhausted. Poor guy needs some sleep. Gunner's mate Seaman Benjamin Brazel, native of Colorado, performs maintenance on an M240 Bravo light machine gun. Take a look at this. Yeah, here you have all the hearing protection up in the overhead. I don't believe that's proper stowage, sailor, but we'll let that pass. And then you have some Yahoo over here doing admin. Remember what I said about naval service? You'd be shocked at how much of it is admin. In the end, military service is still government service, and bureaucracy is thick. Even at the deck plate level, where you're doing simple things like, small arms maintenance, you're still doing tons and tons of paperwork, training plans, scheduling, you name it. So there's probably more of this than you may realize in naval service. But here he is doing maintenance on an M240. Really cool. They just need to police their stowage a little bit. All right, let's get on to the aircraft carriers. Everyone loves aircraft carriers. Look at this photo. Look at that. They're going into burner there. Oh, that's beautiful. F-18 frame 211 is on the cat. Yeah, who is this? This is from the Carl Vinson. Carl Vinson has been at sea since August, man. These guys have got... that's what, 6 months? I wonder, they probably have 3 more months, I imagine. 9-month deployment, right? Out of San Diego with Carrier Air Wing 2. Oh, look at this. The F-35C Lightning II from the Argonauts prepares for recovery on board the Nimitz. It's got a hook. What? They put a hook on this thing. Oh, that's nice. So I guess they're doing traps now. That's relatively new. That's obviously, this has been in the works for years, but to see an F-35 with a hook on it is nice. All right, so we got the Argonauts, like we said, at sea with the Carl Vinson. We've talked about these guys since August, but we'll give them some credit by name here. They're at sea with the Bounty Hunters and the Stingers. Those are the F-18Es and Fs. Golden Dragons as well. And then you got Electronic Attack Squadron, the Gauntlets. Airborne Early Warning, the Black Eagles. And Fleet Logistics, which are very important in keeping these guys at sea, the Titans. And then, of course, Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron, Black Knights, and Maritime Strike Squadron, Blue Hawks. All together there, part of the Air Wing. Let's talk about the cruisers. Here we have a sailor. It looks like he's standing some kind of watch in port there, doing some sort of exercise. Fire Controlman Second Class Jonathan Banules? Oh, man, I'm sorry for messing up your last name there, sir. From San Jose, California. He stands watch as part of a small craft attack team during anchor operations. And here we have Destroyer Squadron 1 getting ready to do an underway replenishment, it looks like. So sailors on board the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile cruiser USS Chaffee DDG-90. This is one of the 5 Arleigh Burkes that are with the Carl Vinson underway. Looks like, here we go. The Dewey, the O'Kane, the Michael Murphy, the Chaffee, and the Stockdale. All out of San Diego, all with the Carl Vinson. Oh, if we move over to the Gulf of Aden, this is the Marine Expeditionary Unit 11. Right off the coast of Yemen. Getting ready to break some things over there if things need breaking. So big hats off to these guys. Looks like he's doing some maintenance on some sort of maybe a helicopter here. Yeah, that is a MH-60S Nighthawk helicopter. Doing some work on that, getting ready for action. Good job, sailor. And back in the Ionian Sea. Oh, how about this? That's right. Remember that the USS Harry S. Truman was transiting through the Med en route to the Middle East, theater. Whenever they were paused, they're like, hey, hold up here in the Mediterranean for a little bit until things over in Ukraine calm down a little bit, because there's some tensions going on in the Ukraine. So the Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group remains in the Ionian Sea. Carrier Strike Group departed for its deployment on December 1st. So they spent the holidays, or at least Christmas and New Year's, underway. So big tip of the hat to the Harry S. Truman Complete Carrier Strike Group for their service during the holidays. Here we have a really cool photo of what it's like to be underway. A lot of underway replenishment. This stuff goes on all the time. And this is a very important part of being at sea for long periods of time. I imagine the helicopter pilots have more experience doing this type of activity than maybe any other, doing these resupplies. But a fantastic photo of that. I'm really impressed with that. And the Carrier Air Wing from the Harry S. Truman. We haven't given these guys credit, so let's talk about them by name real quick. Big shout out to the Red Rippers, Strike Fighter Squadron, VFA 11, and Fighting Checkmates. That's VFA 211. We saw a picture of the 211 on the cat there. Blue Blasters from the Naval Air Station Oceana, and Sunliners. The Rooks, which are the Electronic Aircraft Squadron. These are very important. These guys allow the guys above them here to do what they do. The Seahawks are part of the Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron. Rawhides, part of the Fleet Logistics Squadron, what we just saw there. Dragon Slayers, Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron, HSCs, and the Proud Warriors of HSM 72, Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron. Those are the sub hunters right there. Got to watch out for them. Look at this. Giving the pilot the thumbs up. Got a couple guys back here. Look at him. He's got his feet hanging out. Not sure if that's allowed, but maybe it is. I don't know. Oh, look at this. This looks French. Am I wrong? It is. Oh, I am wrong. It's the Netherlands ship. What ship is this? I can't say that. I'll just call it the Nansen. The Nansen for short. Yeah. Now, there's a little bit of Photoshop-y going on here. They've got a filter on it at least, but it's still a very nice picture. I love the lines on this ship. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool stuff. I miss it. Whenever I see photos like this, I really miss my time in the Navy, man. I mean, granted, I was on board submarine, so I never saw anything like this. But I would certainly love to give it one more go. All right, the Eastern Pacific, the Abraham Lincoln is just now getting underway. Left today as of January 3rd. They went underway, I guess, as of January 3rd for a deployment. Will embark with the 1st Marine Corps Strike Fighter Squadron, VMFA 314, to deploy on the carrier variant of the Joint Strike Fighter. That's the one with the hook. I was saying that's a relatively new thing. The Japan-based aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan normally begins its annual maintenance period in the early part of this year, which will likely leave the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group to conduct operations in the Western Pacific. So they're leaving from San Diego, probably to do operations in the Western Pacific. And here we have one of the, these are the E2s, the Hawkeyes, coming in for a trap. He looks a little high, but it's hard to look at a still photo like this and try to judge. But I mean, the wires that's wire. There's a wire right there, and he's clearly not catching that one unless he's coming down hard. Maybe that's, landing on an aircraft carrier is like a controlled crash, I guess. Yeah, that's what they tell me anyway. All right, so let's, these guys that are just underway, we'll be following the Lincoln Carrier Strike Group throughout its journey over the next 6 to 9 months. So let's recognize who these sailors are. They just went underway this week. So we have the Black Aces, the Top Hatters. We followed the Top Hatters last year too. So they've been a busy group. The Vigilantes and the Black Knights, the Wizards of the Electronic Attack Squadron, and the Wallbangers. I guess this is a Wallbanger here. Can you read that? Oh, no, I can't read the unit symbol, but it says here the Wallbangers are with the carrier group. Titans, VRM-30 with the Fleet Logistics Multi-Mission Squadron. So the Titans are serving multiple air or carriers right now because the Titans are with the Carl Vinson as well. And the Chargers Helicopter Sea Command, stationed out of North Island, and the Raptors Helicopter Marine Squadron, Strike Squadron. Very cool. Good stuff here. Here we have Destroyer Squadron 21. They only deployed with 4 escort destroyers instead of 5 like the Carl Vinson has. So I wonder if maybe one's in maintenance. You know, what's the deal there? Why is it not 5? But I'm telling you, in my opinion, the Arleigh Burkes, those are the destroyers, of course the destroyers. Those are the battleships, though, of the 21st century. These are extremely capable ships that have an immense number of weapons, great sensor capability, multi-mission role. You know, I just think that we should be building a ton of these Arleigh Burke, whether it's Flight 2 or Flight 3. You know, just build as many as you can, as many as we can afford, because this is our most capable ship, in my opinion, for the price, per dollar, per operational hour, is the Arleigh Burke design. And here's a great photo on board an Arleigh Burke, but looking back towards the flight deck as some helo operations go on here. Very cool stuff, and a big tip of the hat to everybody who is underway. We are very happy that you are able to do the job. And that's, again, a quick look at the globe as to where everybody's at. We know the Abraham Lincoln is headed west, going to be operating probably in the Western Pacific Theater. Ronald Reagan is going into a maintenance period, so we won't be seeing her again for probably a year, maybe more. The Essex, right off the coast of Yemen, ready to break things. I'm going to watch that really close. And if they have any public information about operations in Yemen, I'll be bringing it to you. And like I said, if we do operations in Yemen, I hope they don't make any public statements, because I'm just tired of us giving away what we're doing publicly. Let's just get it done and not say anything. Let's start a policy like that, right? And then finally, the Harry S. Truman hanging out in the Ionian Sea here, keeping an eye on, you know, things that are going on near the Black Sea. Really good stuff. All right, does chat have anything to add? Let's see what chat's got for us. It's amazing where the U.S. and allies are active, like everywhere around the globe. Yeah, our Navy is a global force. It really is. And it's really expensive to have a force that's that big and maintain it. It's amazing what we accomplish with the money we have. Because keep in mind, we're funding the Air Force, the Space Force, the Army, the Coast Guard. All those guys need money too. But look at what the Navy does with the money it has. It accomplishes a lot. And it's very impressive what we get out of it, out of every dollar. Let's see. Spec says, I reckon the Australian Navy can turn their helicopter carriers into F-35 carriers. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a VTOL variant of the F-35. Zebre says, when the U.S. stops giving away their ops, we won't have anything to chat about. That's true. I know. I really think operational security is very important. I know that sounds hilarious coming from a person like me with a YouTube channel. And this is how I make my living. I get it. But if it saves one life, don't say anything whenever we go into Yemen. Let's try that and just see what happens. We don't want to cost anybody any undue harm because of, public information. All right. Well, thanks for watching the Naval News, everybody. And again, congratulations to India on getting a very capable maritime patrol aircraft. You're going to get, more than 10. You just received your 11th. So a big tip of that to you. Congratulations. And we'll see you at sea. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody. Hey, it's Aaron from Subbrief. I hope you liked the video. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't already. Also, check out our playlist. We have Naval News playlist. We have Subbrief lecture playlists, which are in-depth analysis into different classes of submarines. And yes, even warships now. We're expanding into warships because we've covered so many of the submarines. I also have a second channel. If you're looking for the gameplay video that used to be a big part of the Subbrief YouTube channel, head on over to OnlySubs. That's right. OnlySubs is a little tongue-in-cheek YouTube channel that I've created to put all the gameplay content that you guys love. This is where we just sit back, have fun, do some live stream video games for a couple hours a few times a week, and we put the VODs over here on OnlySubs on the YouTube channel. All right, click like and subscribe over here and have a good time. Leave a comment down below and I'll be sure and read it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching my video, everybody. Bye.